So this is the second to last video in this series. Thank God. And I do actually have a reason for not doing this video beforehand. It's not a terribly good reason, but I have one. And the fact is that nothing really happened last week. Like, nothing happened. I went into class and the kids, looked at me like I was an alien, but that's pretty standard stuff. I sat down and he went through a PowerPoint, and I guess one good thing did happen. He didn't flip out and send anybody out of the classroom this past week, so that's a plus. Yeah, nobody really misbehaved. Nothing super extraordinary happened. A couple of the kids, had smart mouths with him, but I guess he learned his lesson from last week because he didn't really say anything about it. He just kind of let them be, which I can't decide if that's better or worse. I guess I can't criticize everything he does, so just gonna have to let that one slide. But I talked to him after the classes were over, and right before I left, I told him next week is going to be my last week, and that's this week is my last week. And I asked him if I could take a picture with the kids in both classes because we have to have the visual aids in our presentation, and he just goes, no. Not a why. There was no why. I mean, obviously it's probably a bad idea to take pictures of kids without but I'm pretty sure their parents sign a form, and, this could be worked around, but I'm going to respect his outright no because he is their teacher and it's his classroom, so that's fine. Except now, I have no idea what to do for visual cues. So thanks, teacher. You're screwing me over in just every direction you possibly can, aren't you? What a gem. Yeah, so I've come to terms with the fact that I don't think there's not much that I like about his teaching style. This is my I'm looking back at all these different videos that I've done and the one written review that I did, and I've come to the conclusion that if I end up not being a teacher like him, then I will have succeeded. I will have achieved a goal, because if I can go through my entire career and never be a teacher as passive and just so incredibly hands-off and everything goes except on one day when I'm feeling slightly pissy and then, geez, you better watch out. If I can be the not that teacher, then I'll be happy. So that's a good thing I learned, I guess, from that's something I like about his curriculum. I don't ever want to use most of it. The hand cue things are cute and all, and they're really useful, and I'll give that to him. And he sure knows how to shut a bunch of kids up by plopping them down in front of computers. But I found my new life goal. Thanks, teacher. Yeah, so I don't know how I'm going to wind down with these kids since I haven't been allowed to interact with these kids, really. I'm probably going to cry on Thursday. I'm looking forward to that. I really like these kids. And I can see that a lot of them are very bright. And a lot of them kind of just want to be paid attention to. And I understand that it's not the teacher's job to be, to be every student's parent or to be a parent to the student. That's not anywhere in the job description, and it's not something that you should be occupying your time thinking about how am I going to be a parent to these students. But honestly, I don't know that it's a it's being a good role model to be so passive with the students and then punish them so severely when you get fed up with them. That just seems a little neurotic to me, I think is the right word for that. And it's really rough because the girl that I ride to and from the school with is so great, and her teacher is so great, and he once let her plan the next lesson for the next week when she would be there, and he let her teach, and she's gotten to know all of her kids. I have almost no doubt that he'll probably let her take an entire album of pictures, and I envy that a lot. I wish I had gotten a teacher that cared about education a little bit more than just what he gets for a paycheck. Which, I'm not certain why he became a teacher, if that's what he's preoccupied with. It's obviously not the learning, since he is just, like, cutting to it in the fastest way possible. So that's my goal, I guess. That's my big, grand takeaway. In the end, I know less about the kids than I do about this teacher, which I really regret that I don't know much about these kids, and I didn't get to know any of them very well. But for what the situation was worth, I learned something very valuable from this teacher. So that's it, I guess. It's a pretty lackluster week. Maybe next week something big will happen. Hopefully nothing like explosive big. But last chance next week, teacher. Get your crap together. Or I'll rant at you again.